You get a pay rise, nice one, you earned it. 6 months later, you're driving a nicer car, ordering takeaway twice a week, and your Deliveroo history is starting to look like a small business expense report. And somehow, your savings look exactly the same as they did before. That's not called bad luck, it's lifestyle creep. And it's quietly the single biggest thing standing between most people and reaching financial freedom. It's bigger than your salary, bigger than picking the right stock, and bigger than any get-rich-quick scheme you've seen on this app. If you're new here, hi, I'm Ben, an investment analyst turned financial educator, and today I want to show you exactly how lifestyle creep sneaks up on you, the maths behind why it's so dangerous, and the one rule that lets you actually enjoy your pay rises without sabotaging your future. Sounds too good to be true, but let's get straight into it. Lifestyle creep is what actually happens when your spending quietly rises to match your income. Not because you're irresponsible, because it's almost invisible whilst it's actually happening in front of you. Nobody wakes up one day and decides, okay, I'm going to blow my entire pay rise. It happens with one small decision at a time. You upgrade your phone plan. You start getting your coffee out instead at home. Starbucks. You move to a nicer flat because you can afford it now. Individually, none of these decisions feel reckless in your mind. Added together, they quietly eat 100% of every raise that you get. Here's the uncomfortable part. The people most at risk of lifestyle creep aren't reckless spenders. They're disciplined people who never designed a system to protect themselves from their own success. Pay rise after pay rise. Let's run the numbers on two people. Same starting salary of £35,000, the same career, and the same 5% pay rise every single year for 20 years. Person A, they let their spending rise along with their income. Every raise gets absorbed by a slightly better lifestyle. Their savings rate never actually changes. It stays fixed at whatever they were putting away when they started, in cash terms, not as a percentage. Person B, on the other hand, does one thing differently. Every single time they get a pay rise, half of that extra money goes towards their lifestyle, and the other half gets automatically redirected into their investment account before they ever see it. After 20 years, person A has a nicer car, a bigger flat, and roughly the same amount saved as they had 5 years into their career, because their savings never scaled with their income. That's the big thing. Person B, on the other hand, investing that same growing surplus and average 8% annual return, ends up with a portfolio value of over £310,000. Same salary, same raises, same starting point. The only difference is what happened with that extra sum of money. That gap isn't about earning more, it's entirely about where that raise went during that time. There's a psychological reason lifestyle creep is so sticky, and it's called hedonic adaptation. Basically, humans adjust to whatever their new normal is. The new normal really fast. That upgraded flat feels exciting for about 6 weeks, and then it becomes where you live. It's a norm. The nicer car becomes just a car. The bar you set yourself rising keeps on going up and up and up, but your happiness barely moves. That's why changing your lifestyle is such a losing game. You're not buying lasting happiness, you're buying a temporary spike, followed by a new one and a new one and a new one. It's a more expensive baseline, in other terms. And once your expenses lock in at that new baseline, going backwards feels impossible because it's that new norm and that new barrier that you've set yourself. So how do you actually fix this without becoming someone who never actually enjoys your own money? This is where the 50% rule comes in, and it's a single thing that helped my own differences as well in finance. The rule is simple. Every time your income goes up, a raise, a bonus, a new job with better pay, you split the income in half. 50% goes towards upgrading your lifestyle, guilt-free. The other 50% gets automatically invested before it ever touches your everyday spending account. Say, for example, you get a £3,000 annual pay rise. Under this rule, that means £1,500 is yours to enjoy. A better holiday, a nicer flat, whatever actually improves your life. But the other £1,500 goes straight into your ISA or your pension. You're not depriving yourself here, you still feel every single pay rise, but your future self gets a permanent seat at the table too. Do this consistently across a 20 or 30 year period, and the compounding effect is enormous. Because unlike your first ever savings contribution, this money is laid on top of an income and a lifestyle you've already adjusted to. It costs you nothing you'll actually miss. Here's the part almost everyone gets wrong. They try to do this manually. They tell themselves, I'll be disciplined when the next paycheck comes in. I'll transfer half myself. 6 months later, nothing's happened. You haven't done that once. It's merged into everyday spending the moment it hit your account. The fix is to make this decision once and never again. The moment a raise or bonus lands, increase your automatic transfer to your ISA or your pension or any investment account by exactly 50% of that increase. On the same day before the balance hits your account, it goes straight into that investment account. You don't see it. Mentally, it's not in there. This is the exact same principle that makes workplace pensions so effective. Money that leaves before you ever see it. It just goes straight in there. So let's zoom out. Lifestyle creep isn't really about a single purchase, a nicer coffee or a slightly bigger flat. The real danger is that it silently caps your savings rate at whatever happened when you first started it. Every year you go without adjusting your savings rate upward is a year where 100% of that value of your growing income disappears into a slightly upgraded version of the same position that you're in financially. The 50% rule breaks that pattern permanently, and it compounds the same way your investments do. The earlier you start applying it, the larger that eventual gap between you and the version of yourself who you let vanish comes back. If you take one thing from this video, let it be this. The goal was never to upgrade your lifestyle. It's to make sure your future self gets a cut of the success you're bringing today. Next time a pay rise or bonus lands, don't just let it quickly absorb into your spending without a decision. Split it, automate it, let half of it go towards genuinely enjoying the money you worked for, and let the other half go towards the market, and let that work for you itself. Do that consistently, and in 20 years, you won't just have a nicer car and a nicer flat. You'll have both lifestyle you wanted and the financial freedom to walk away from work entirely and enjoy those coffees, that nicer flat, or that better holiday. If you want to see how to do this, invest the pounds into real financial independence, hit that subscribe button, comment your thoughts down below, and like the video so it sends it to more people just like yourselves looking for this education. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.